Hello everyone, I am Mark Berman from TV Media Insights. I am here with John P. Roberts, and we are at the Banff Media Festival.
Yes, the World Media Festival. Not just a festival, the World Media Festival. Yes.
And you are with Buna Murray.
Yes, I'm the Chief Digital Officer at Buna Murray.
Right.
I've been there about 6 months now, and really having a good time thus far.
And prior to that, you were at Endemol for quite some time.
Yeah, I ran digital for Endemol North America.
Right.
And did a lot of interesting things there, and came to Buna Murray last November with a mandate to really. They've been doing a lot in digital already,
sure.
So this was just to kind of keep that momentum going and attempt to take it to that next level.
I have to tell you, honestly speaking, I am such a huge fan of that format of storytelling, what they do. They started in 92.
92 with Real World, that first season in New York,
right.
And we just finished our 30th season, and we announced the 31st season with MTV.
Isn't that amazing? So if you look back to 92, so we're talking quite some time, the original cast members were in the 40s.
Yeah, it's like a time capsule. And
you know?
when I say time capsule, it's almost like that idea that you would look at society back then and see what was going on in the pulse of youth.
Right.
And now it's in many ways so different, yet there is certain things that are just the same. You still put strangers in a house, you're going to have conflict, resolution, and you just find out different walks of life, and that's what I find really interesting.
I mean, if you think about it, people. I think one of the misconceptions in the business is people say, "Well, reality television is new." It's not new. It really started back in '48 with candid camera.
That's right.
Way back when. So there's all different types of that kind of storytelling.
And I'll go so far as to say, in some ways, when you think about what Real World did, they had that confessional cam. So all of a sudden you had people breaking that fourth wall.
Right.
And in many ways, like I compare it now to the world of YouTube, where a lot of those YouTube influencers, YouTube stars are looking directly at the camera, talking to the audience like that. So in a weird, crazy way, I feel like, I give, Buna Murray the credit for kind of making that the norm in many ways. So it made those YouTubers comfortable. And that's why I think some of these YouTube influencers I find so interesting are from all walks of life. Some of them are, leading the charge for all these different initiatives. Right. Some are, advocates. Some of them are just, video game fanatics, and some of them love to do makeup. I mean, it's all different types of
it's
things.
amazing because anybody could be a star now. You could go home and put yourself on YouTube and start a series, and suddenly you have, millions of followers. It's the strangest thing.
It's amazing. And in fact, one of the things that I find so wild are just what works. Like, we're talking earlier, I have a child, and he'll never know that YouTube wasn't a network.
Right.
Because when we talk about what he wants to do, he's like, I want to watch YouTube. And we watch it on the big screen. And we'll watch things as little as a woman that opens up, toy eggs, and all you see is her hands. And she's getting like 40 million views on this thing. Cable ratings would love to have that. Network ratings would love to have that.
I wish I knew that, because if I had known that, I would have brought toy eggs with this conversation. I would have put it on here.
Your views would spike like this.
No, it's amazing. And what's interesting, I guess, you look at a family like the Kardashians. They have been doing this for so many years now.
Yeah.
And there's been spin-off after spin-off after spin-off. The latest, of course, is Call Me Kate.
Yeah, and that's actually even its own separate initiative with Caitlyn telling her story in a way that hasn't been told before. And so, again, it's a spin-off in essence because it was the relationship that we had with that family.
Sure.
And, that's going to be a whole other world to look at. And I think it's just, ever seeing that first interview and what I'm already seeing, it's such the way to advocate and way to create and shed light on this. It's an amazing thing, and it can change a lot of lives in a very positive way.
It's
filming now, and it's I got to see an episode, and I think it's going to be airing soon. And it's
starting.
amazing.
I think it's starting on July 26th. I'm pretty certain that's the start, because I just wrote about that.
Yeah, E launched they put a 1-minute trailer out.
Yes.
And it was really compelling.
And that got a ton of views based on, you're obviously going to get a lot of tune-in. Will we be seeing the Kardashians on the show? Are they going to pop in and out?
That, I think, is separate for now.
Right.
But, it's like there's so many different initiatives and so many spin-offs.
Sure.
I think that right there, that story needs to be told through Caitlyn. and we'll go from there after that.
Well, I want to talk to you. Obviously, you're very heavily involved in the digital arena.
Yes.
And you know what's happening with TV now. I mean, there's so many changes, which is one of the nice things about being at an event like this, because you're meeting all different types of people. This one's doing this is doing that. You're learning about all this stuff. There's so many different facets of this business now that I want to kind of talk about. How do you delve into digital, do these digital series, and kind of not cannibalize what you're currently seeing? Like, let's say with, how does that work?
It's a great question. So there's a couple different ways. There's what we call the digital extension. So say something like Real World or The Challenge. There's times where we'll do a digital extension. So the twist on The Challenge was they lost the competition, they're kicked off the challenge, they go to the house, they put they press a button and they find out that they're still in the game. That was all thrown through the digital. That was on MTV.com.
So it's sort of like an extension.
An extension. That's one category. Then there's what we call the original digital content. So what I also call alternative distribution. So I'm looking at the YouTube and Yahoo and Crackle, Hulu, Netflix, Amazon. You could call those digital networks. They're not the normal broadcast and cable. So those are who I look at and go for. So a good example would be, we're still trying to tell stories. It still goes after compelling stories. And I'll give you the best example, and we just announced this at the Digital New Fronts. My nephew, ever since he was a baby, we're always playing video games together. And of course now, as he got older, the pupil becomes the master. And I remember asking him, what game should I be playing? And he told me about this game called Happy Wheels. And so I'm like, what is that? So I went online. It was a web-based game, and I found out this popularity behind this thing was, 8 million uniques a month. And on Machinima alone, just people playing the game, there's like 3 billion views. And I eventually said, wait a minute. Now these are all just YouTube players, YouTube stars playing the game and talking about it. Like, there's characters in this game though. I said, what if we made this into an animated television series or digital series? And we ended up, finding the founder, the creator of the game, Jim Bonacci. He was, very collaborative and agreed to give us the digital rights. And now we're doing a digital animated series about Happy Wheels, and it will be airing on Machinima. And so that was another opportunity to look at, a brand and something that was successful and tell that story in a different way.
Now, how do you know how well these shows do? Do you look at the page views? What is the basis on determining if something is a hit or a miss?
Well, what's great about
this world?
What's great about digital is the amount of views you're getting. So you literally can say this one particular video had north of 1 million views, so we can probably deem that successful.
Yes.
When YouTube Originals, which is the newest initiative from YouTube, they made it very clear what their parameters are. They said, first and foremost, if you're going to do a show with us, you need to surround it around a YouTube influencer, a star, someone that gets millions of views or subscribers. Second of all, and equally important, is the story. And then third, which brings the full circle, is these videos need to get 1 to 5 million views per video. So if you get the right YouTube star with the right story, the number third will happen pretty easily. So that's one way of looking at it. There's engagement. How many people are participating? Are you doing the right type of thing? But I still, at the heart of it, and the heart of Buna Murray is, what's the story?
Right.
We have a big sign that Mary Alice Bunham had, we have quotes of different people, and hers always says, but what's the story? And I think we always look for that. So, there's many other things that we'll be making more announcements, but I have some very interesting things that are coming down the pike. But it really does come down to story first, and then let's find the right distribution place for that.
Right. Well, we're going to delve a little more into that, I hope, and we're going to kind of make this a 2-part conversation. So we're going to say goodbye to part 1.
Part 1.
We're going to come back.
Arrivederci.
We're going to come back saying it's tomorrow, wearing the same clothing.
Okay. I could put my jacket inside out.
So I'm going to lie when we come back, but thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
And I will see you back tomorrow.
I'm going to go to bed now.
All right, folks. See you tomorrow.